Hello and welcome back to Digitise This, the podcast from PFUE, a Rico company, where we explore how intelligent capture, workflow innovation and smart technologies are transforming the way organisations work. I'm your host, Steve Chad, and in this series we've been looking at the big shifts shaping digital transformation, from how PFUE supports the channel to how product innovation is driven by real customer needs. In today's episode, we're stepping into a fast-evolving new space: smart meeting devices. The AV and collaboration market is changing rapidly, with sustainability, hybrid work and meeting equity reshaping what organisations expect from their meeting environments. To explore that shift, I'm joined by Ian Neale from PFUE and John Gallagher, Technical Lead at ADI Global Distribution, one of PFUE's newest AV distribution partners. Together, we'll unpack what's happening in the AV marketplace, how PFUE is building a portfolio across projection, meeting devices and monitors, and why partnerships like ADI are key to supporting resellers across EMEA. So let's get into it. So guys, welcome to the show. Ian, I'll begin with you. Let's start with the big picture. The AV and workplace collaboration market is evolving quickly. Mm-hmm. What would you say are the biggest challenges that we're seeing right now?
The challenges that we're seeing in the market, in fact, are in the meeting room space. People actually working together, feeling like they're not in the meeting, people still zoning out in the meetings and not being able to put themselves forward. So that's quite a challenge in itself when it comes to meeting rooms. Also, I think what the wider picture around AV is that we're seeing some really good content out there. We're seeing some good products out there and good technology, but it's still not delivering what we would expect, and that would only get better.
Okay, so when people hear AV, I mean, most people think of like screens, meeting rooms, but what's really happening under the surface in terms of technology shifts, right?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting question because AV now has converged within all the other sectors. So IT, unified comms, AV is now converged as one.
Right.
So the skill set of various integrators has had to change with it because not only are they just selling AV product, they're having to think about how that fits into an IT world. They also have to think about unified communications and how that fits into that world as well. So yeah, it's now quite complex in that market.
So why would you say that right now is the right moment for PFUE to move into smart meeting devices as a category, to lean in there?
Well, I think if you look at the EMEA market, if you just look at projectors, it's a $4 billion market.
Wow.
And that will grow at a rate of about 6% CAGR over the next 7 years, and will become 5.8 billion. So why would you not want to be in that space? And then when you look at 360 cameras, for example, another emerging market. It's been around a little while now, but in 2023, that market was about 400 million. And by 2030, we reckon it'll be around 2 billion. And that's a 27% CAGR. So why would we not want to be in that space as well?
Yeah, why not? Completely valid question, that. What are you seeing that's driving demand? Are you seeing things like hybrid work, sustainability, new expectations around collaboration or other things?
I think it's a bit of everything, really. A lot of people are looking for the full solution as opposed to just the hardware now.
Right.
So how they deal with that solution, I don't know how many times you've walked into a meeting room and had issues trying to get it working, that sort of thing. Daily basis.
Recognizable.
Yeah. So I think it's streamlining that and making sure that the solution works effectively more than anything.
And just to add to that, I think John's absolutely right. You know, the first 10 minutes of every meeting these days is taken up with trying to sort out technology. And so this is really being driven by the end user. The end user's demanding a better experience. And that experience is they want to press a button and everything works and join a meeting instantly.
Yeah.
As just one example. Because, as I said, that first 10 minutes is taken up trying to sort cables out or whatever it may be. And I think everybody's experienced that in a meeting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the meeting equivalent of real estate. Time is a currency in itself. Yeah. So, I mean, John, from your side, what are you seeing customers and integrators asking for most in the AV market right now?
It's a good question. I mean, the hardware side is one part of it, but then the value add is something we're seeing more and more every day, every week. Part of my role at ADI in the technical team is to look after the value add.
Right.
So we're getting asked a lot for sort of looking after the project from start to finish. So site surveys, pre-site surveys, commissioning visits on any of the products that are purchased for ourselves, but also the training aspect as well. So the last thing you want to do after an install is get a customer calling you back multiple times a week trying to get something working correctly. So part of that is the training side of that as well, and the education side of it, making sure people understand what it is they're installing.
Okay, it's interesting that, because there's other sectors and people we've been talking to and saying similar things about the importance of value add, of experience, and of the people side of things, not just the technology side. So
exactly, it's trying to be that full package as opposed to just box shifting.
Okay. So let's unpack a bit how PFUE is approaching this space and why the partnership with ADI is such a key part of the story. So Ian, coming back to you, when PFUE talks about smart meeting devices, what exactly do we mean? What's inside this category for us?
So smart meeting devices is effectively AV products. Okay, so we have 3 technology pillars within that category. We have our projectors, and we have a very narrow set of projectors. And the reason for that is that makes it very easy for our customers to understand where our products can fit, but they will fit into all applications. We have our Meeting Hub 360 UC device, which is standalone today, but actually that's going to progress over the next year to 18 months, which is literally a 360 camera that gives you better meeting experience. And then we have our monitors, which is not your standard monitor as people would expect on a desk. It has multiple purposes.
So 3 connected pillars really make up the category. So in terms of projection then, I mean, I know it's sometimes seen as a bit of a legacy technology, but it seems like it still plays a very big role.
It plays a massive role, actually. And projection, people see this as old technology, or it's technology that's going away. It's not. If we were looking at the entry-level projection market, that's in decline. We don't operate in that market. We operate in the mid-market. And that's really designed to go into sectors where there is a high usage of projection away from other technologies.
Okay, so John, where would you say projection still outperforms newer alternatives like LED?
So it comes down to a couple of things. I think the main thing, especially with our customer base, would be how easy it is to install. A lot of the time when we sell LED products, we're also selling commissioning and install costs alongside that, because the customer doesn't feel confident in doing that themselves. Whereas with projection, for example, it's a lot easier to just put that up on, a wall or a ceiling and have that installed.
Okay.
And just to add to that, I think the message around projection is still about versatility. So projection can go into places where other technologies can't. LED, we know, is a massively growing market, and LCD screens in rooms is still a big market. However, projector plays a big part from a versatility perspective and a cost message. Versatility meaning that it can actually project onto shapes, into places, into 24-hour applications, where other technologies can't necessarily. And then if you look at the advantage around cost per inch in terms of size, that sort of 100-inch to 150 market, actually the projector provides a much better cost-effective solution.
So what are some of the most interesting applications that you're seeing today? Things like immersive rooms or sort of simulations, retail applications?
Yeah, all of the above, I'll be honest. So, immersive rooms is really growing, and that's gone into education, actually, and also into the hospitality sector or the entertainment sector. So theme parks as well has become quite big in there. But we're seeing other markets emerge as well. So golf simulators, but also you would have seen an explosion of gaming events where you can go and play darts or shuffleboard or and have a drink at the same time, and these sort of bars and clubs, and that's really emerging. There's lots of them coming around, and we're seeing high usage of projection in there where you can actually have a dartboard that's projected and play darts, right? So there's huge amounts of markets.
What do you think's driving that demand? All this leisure, I mean, the big growth in those areas.
You and I, the end user. So the consumer is really wanting different ways to be entertained. For instance, they want a better user experience. They want to be, they want content to be produced in a way that's understandable. So when you walk through a shopping mall, you instantly see what somebody's selling or they're communicating to you. That's really important because, you know, the consumer now is becoming quite fickle in their approach in terms of their buying patterns and everything else. I don't know if you want to.
You've pretty much covered it all there, I think, Ian.
No, that's really interesting to see the changes that are happening there, and the fact that, you know, it's like what's possible and what people want are coming together.
Yeah, absolutely. But we can't forget our legacy vertical markets, the corporate space, the educational space, where there's still high demand for these products and technology. But it's just a different twist on it. It goes back to what I originally said about solutions, right? If you're an integrator that understands AV, IT, UC, and everything else that's thrown into the mix, and in ADI's case, security, if you can understand all of that, you're going to win.
It's the principles.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it sounds like there's also a sustainability story here in projection. How are you seeing legislation shaping the shift away from lamp projection towards laser projection?
The EU regulations this year and next year are turning the projector space into being more sustainable, right? So as you mentioned, and that comes down to a couple of things. That comes down to the lamp market, and that's when I spoke about the low end projector market, which is pretty much lamp based. That is going because EU regulations are saying that lamps will go into landfill when they've finished, and they actually hold mercury inside a lamp. So we don't want that going into landfill. So we just sell laser projection. So laser projection is the way forward. All our projectors are laser.
So that's how PFUE designing products with sustainability in mind, avoiding mercury.
And the second piece to that is that actually we're designing our projectors now that the shell of that projector is made from recycled materials. Now it's only about 10 to 15% of that shell right now is recycled materials, but as we over the next year or two, we'll increase that to maybe 20-25%.
So if there's one projector that you'd call a flagship right now, which one would it be and what makes that one stand out?
The flagship for us is our ultra short throw projector. So it's the UHL 3660. That is, there's no product on the market that can touch that for price and spec right now. It's 6,500 lumens. It's 4K. It's DLP, which hopefully for our viewers, they'll understand what that means. But that will mean that it can work in a 24/7 application. It's also Wi-Fi as well, so you can actually present through that projector wirelessly. So that at the moment is our flagship. It runs on two laser wheels that gives you that brightness, but no one can touch that brightness or resolution today.
Sounds pretty impressive. So let's move away from projection and into the meeting room itself. What problem is PFUE's 360 meeting hub designed to solve?
Yes, that's a good question. So I think we talk about meeting equity quite a lot. And a lot of people don't really understand what meeting equity is, but that's really about making sure that people are making the best use of their time in that meeting, but not only about the time that they're using, it's about how they're interacting in that meeting. And you probably heard me mention at the beginning about people zoning out, people getting fatigue, and actually feeling that they're not part of the meeting itself. Rather than watching, they should be at the table. What this 360 camera does, it immerses everybody into that same meeting. So you can see everybody that's involved in that meeting. You can see how they react as well. So it's a key product for us.
Meeting equity is the key.
I think meeting equity, but it enables you to collaborate better and be part of that and share content and all those good things that you can do over any platform.
It's bringing people closer together with a more real immersive experience, I guess is.
Absolutely.
Okay. How would you say a 360-degree meeting device is different from the traditional front of room camera setups that most people are used to seeing?
I mean, especially with the Ricoh device, it's the way it can pick out the individual speakers, I think is very unique. I know from other distributors and products from other brands that they have issues with that a lot of the time, depending on the size of the room as well. I know that you compare two of these together, which is a really cool feature. So you've got the ability to have a bigger meeting room if you need to as well. Whereas with some of the other types of meeting rooms, you're sort of limited to that 4 to 6 people range and need a separate microphone, for example, in a ceiling tile or something like that.
So what role would you say AI plays in creating a more equitable meeting experience for both remote and in-room participants these days?
Yeah, so that's obviously AI is a massive topic right now from excuse me, from all walks of life. However, what it will do, it will be able to give you better audio quality, a better video quality. But not only that, it actually adds features. So one of them would be, for example, more emotive approach. And some markets might not like this, and some will. If you think in the law market, where in question rooms and they can pick up on various details about that individual.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's quite key. They can see how people are responding to certain questions. So that's quite a motive in itself.
Yeah.
In an HR situation, again, not all markets would like that, but they can, in certain discussions, you can have conversations about various HR topics, put it that way. And again, you can see the emotion come through on AI. But AI will be able to do a lot more tricks down the line. We know that for sure.
I can see how it works in those almost like small conference-like environments where I suppose not just meeting equity, but like meeting presence is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, John touched on the fact that our meeting Hub 360 can work in dual mode. Currently, that works through a Wi-Fi connection, its own Wi-Fi connection. That's not on the Wi-Fi of the organisation. That would actually end up being just AI and being able to connect through that route and work out with more features, etc.
And talking of a different kind of connection, does it play well with meeting platforms, the 360 Hub?
Sits on all platforms. So the Meeting 360 will work with Teams, it will work with Google Meet, it will work with Zoom. It's actually Zoom certified. So it will sit on any meeting platform because it is plug and play.
And how does future-proofing through software updates tie into sustainability then?
When people are looking at future-proofing sites and choosing the hardware for that, they want to buy something that they know's got longevity to it.
Got it.
One of the biggest issues with that is obviously firmware updates and that sort of thing. So making sure that that's a seamless and easy thing to do is something that's really important. We have a lot of people that want to look after sites remotely, for example. So that's something that we're seeing a lot in this market right now, where people will have a cloud-based management system for the multiple sites and they're able to access hardware remotely. But firmware updates and that sort of thing is something definitely that in the future needs to be sort of, well, future-proof, I guess. Yeah, making sure that it's an easy process to do. Yeah. You could even leave that up to an end user at some point if it's easy enough. So.
Okay, I can see that direction of just making it that much easier to not just use but also like maintain.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the third pillar that we've talked about is monitors. And these aren't just standard displays. What makes them different, Ian?
So what makes them different? We have 2 monitors in the range. They're both 15.6 inch, so nothing typically different there from a lot of monitors in the market. But what they are is very light, first and foremost. So they're actually OLED. They weigh 700 grams. You can fit them in your backpack and carry them everywhere, as I do. And not only that, they're touchscreen, so a 10-point touch. It has an integrated battery, which lasts for 4 hours, and that's included in that weight. They can mirrorcast, so you can mirrorcast to 32 units. So it's not your typical monitor that you would necessarily have on your desk, but actually if you're a road warrior or you're hot desking a lot, it's useful that.
So how are these designed for those workspaces where people are building more flexible shared desk environments then?
Yeah, so again, you can travel anywhere, whether it's in your place of work, in your hot desk, or in a cafe, or in anywhere you want to be able to work. You can pull this monitor out, and you can actually connect to it wirelessly, or you can connect to it through one cable, which is USB-C cable.
So it sounds like it's just opening up the places that are available to meet in, rather than in meeting rooms where
Absolutely.
typically you think meetings, offices, but no,
But it's not just, it's not just that. You can actually use it in different environments. So in a we've seen this product in the Middle East, for example, going to a well-known airline,
all right,
where every place on the boardroom has a monitor, and at one end they have the larger monitor that's interactive as well. And then with changes that can happen at the master screen at the end, everybody can see it in their place. And because it has a touchback system, you can actually write notes on the screen yourself, your position, and everybody can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to save that content and email it back to whoever needs that saved. So it's a neat product. And we've also seen it go into car showrooms. So those lucky enough that are ordering a brand new car and sat in front of a salesman, typically they'll be turning their monitor around so you can see it to see what they're doing.
Okay.
But actually with this monitor, if they pass you the monitor, you can change the car specs of the color, the wheels, and everything else. You can see the price. You can even sign the document if you want to order the car. So it speeds up the sales process for that car showroom, and provides a better experience for the customer.
That's quite amazing. I mean, it sounds like it's not just making meetings more collaborative, it's actually giving everybody in that meeting a voice to actually,
absolutely,
say, making it more engaging as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And that's why we do, just to add there, we get a lot of customers saying that you can buy this sort of monitor off Amazon. And when you've gone through the spec, it's not the same.
Understood. Let's move on to the partnership aspect of PFUE and ADI. Ian, why did PFUE choose ADI as a distribution partner for smart meeting devices?
Yes, it's a good question. So what ADI gives us is multiple sales channels. So they don't just sell to your typical IT AV customer or UC customer. Whilst they can do that for us, they also give us access to the security market as well. And the security and AV market are converging. Those two markets are really coming close together. So if you think of control rooms as one example, you'll see lots of screens, you'll see lots of audio within a control room as an example. So they're giving us some uniqueness around customer set. And because our product set is quite narrow, we wanted to go through a narrow channel, but we want it to go through a different channel. We've still got other distributors out there, of course, in other regions, but for ADI, that's what they give us, is that uniqueness of customer set.
And John, what does ADI bring to the table in terms of reach, expertise, channel momentum?
Yeah, so like Ian said, a lot of our customer base is very security centric.
Got it.
We also like to think that we are sort of an additional arm to their install. So obviously already mentioned the value added support. That is something that's, a really big focus for ADI. So being able to help that customer deliver a project from start to finish is something we really value. And I think that's something we can, assist you guys with as well.
Yeah, and just to add, there's probably two other aspects as well that are worth mentioning. So they have a massive sales team, right? Which is key. And a lot of those salespeople also sit in a store network.
Right.
Their store network in the UK, they have 28 stores.
28.
That's length and breadth of the UK, also Northern Ireland's in there as well. And that allows us to put small box product in there. So the 360, the Meeting Hub 360, or even the monitor, for example, could sit in store. And anybody that's coming into that store are trade only. And they'll be able to see the product, they'll be able to see the product live. So again, their route to market it adds some uniqueness to what we're trying to do.
And John, from ADI's side, what stood out about PFUE's approach and portfolio for ADI?
I think it's sort of the clarity of focus on the product range. So we've obviously mentioned the three main pillars, which is the projection, the meeting devices, and the monitors. And I just think, instead of being everything for everyone, really honed in on those devices and made those devices really good. So I think that was something that stood out to us. It was something that we were looking for in our portfolio as well.
Right.
It was an area that we needed growth in. So that was something that really played a part in deciding to go.
Sounds like a good
sales.
match.
Yeah, definitely.
So where do you see the biggest opportunities for resales and integrators in this space then?
Good question. A lot of our customers at the minute, so already you mentioned the security side of the business, we do have sort of your pro AV installers as well.
Okay.
So I think one of the big jobs we've got is trying to get our security customers comfortable with installing this type of product. Ian's already mentioned sort of the control room spaces. Obviously the ultra short throws 24/7. What's stopping you having something like that in a control room where you're going to have camera streams up on a wall, for example? So there's definitely certain markets and areas that we can see these products fitting into, especially with the security side of our business. So looking forward to see where it takes us.
Yeah, it's like a lot of adjacent opportunities for people that you know what they do and you can see where it fits, and it's just a case of bringing them in and showing them, really, I guess.
Exactly.
Excellent. So what role does technical enablement play here, especially when you face potentially complex projects?
I mean, install's one part of it, right?
Yeah.
But then you've also got everything that goes with that. So the opportunity to have maintenance contracts, for example, but also when you get to a site, the issues you're going to experience with IT, for example, if you've got firewalls, anything like that, these kind of things that you come across on installs and projects. I think trying to prepare the customers and the installers for those issues that they might arise on a project is really important, and just the education side of that as well. So giving people the technical expertise to understand these projects, and then in doing so, then being more comfortable to then take on bigger projects as well.
And how does ADI help partners not just to sell devices, but to deploy complete meeting experiences?
So we try and specialize with the design side of things as well. So if they come to us with a scope of works, for example, we're happy to have a look at that, any drawings, and make sure that our guys are trained up as well enough to scope or spec those systems. But also, again, like I mentioned previously, the site visit side of things, basically holding hands with the customer along the way, every step of the way, and making sure that initial project then makes them comfortable enough to take on multiple new
It sounds like there's a strong degree of consultancy as well in just understanding that space.
Yeah, it's pretty much trying to get everything into one sort of consultancy and the rest of it too.
Okay. So you've both recently been to ISE in Barcelona. What does your show like that tell us about where the market's heading?
Yeah, a lot.
I've been going to ISE for 20 years, and so I've seen it when it's a small project, and now to where it is today, it's 10, 12 halls full of product. They're dedicated to various technologies within AV. You can have an audio section, LED section, digital signage section, and so it's exploding. And based on the numbers that I gave you earlier, I think we all know where that will head in the coming years. For us, ISE is really important. That's whether our partners are taking our products there, or actually from an exploratory perspective, what's coming through, what competition are doing. It says a lot about the industry. But globally, this industry, AV, is going to be 500 billion in 6 years' time. So.
And what trends are you expecting to dominate the market over the next year?
I mean, we've already mentioned AI. I think that's the big one, isn't it, really? But in terms of other than technologies, maybe the value add side of things, I think margins on hardware, not really there as much as they used to be. So we've got to look at different ways to sell product.
Coming back to you, Ian, if you had to sum up PFUE's smart meeting devices vision in one sentence, what would it be?
Really good question. So we're providing solutions to our customers through our distribution network. But our vision is to become the next brand that's enabling to take more products to market in our sectors. It's quite a difficult question because obviously technology is moving along quickly. AI is taking us on a journey, and we'll see some of that coming through. But we want to be in this market, in a narrow market that we feel will add value back to to our business. So
Okay.
we no doubt see some more products coming through in the future. But my vision really is to enable a select number of integrators to take our brand and products forward.
Mm-hmm. And John, what would you say to integrators or resellers who are looking for differentiation in the AV space right now?
It's be more than the product you sell, I think.
Right.
You've got vendors like yourselves or distributors like us that you can lean on for support,
Yeah.
but you want to be there for your customers at the end of the day and make it as easy as possible for them so that they're going to rely on you for future projects.
Excellent.
I think that's the important thing.
It's like think about your ecosystem.
Exactly.
All parts of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So let's bring this down to a takeaway. If a partner's listening and wondering where to start, what would you say, Ian, is the first opportunity you would recommend exploring?
The first opportunity is really engaging with us.
Okay.
Okay. So it's all about engagement with us and with our distribution partner, as in ADI. So that would be the first port of call, because actually we do things slightly different as a manufacturer.
Okay.
As you know, we provide channel programs. We're quite narrow, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
We have a team that can support, so engage with the team. That's really important. We can demonstrate, we can evaluate, we can do all of those good things. So that would be my first takeaway, to be honest. If we look at ADI specifically, we are selling into a sales channel which is security minded, that are primary security integrators and probably secondary AV, and you'll get some the other way around. So we're here to teach those customers what it means about extra revenue streams, where you should be adding value in terms of new technologies, new products, because they will be leaving business on the table. So for our security viewers or integrators, it's really, really vital to engage, and we can support you.
Great. And what would you say is the simplest way to think about PFUE's portfolio? You know, and in that, I mean, projection, meeting equity, and shared workplace displays working together.
Yeah, so we know that all of our products can be solutionized. And we've seen that in the construction space as one example, where we've actually seen our 360 camera on a tripod on a construction site, with people huddled around it using our monitor, and the remote individuals on that call are using our projector. So we know that all of our products come together to create a solution.
So inside this episode, we've also got a focus on PFUE's broader commitment to supporting distributors across EMEA. So how does ADI fit into that strategy?
Well, ADI gives us the reach that we need. It's a European reach, which is really important. And that reach is accomplished by the feet on the street, and the salespeople and the technical salespeople and the category managers. And we've got full support from the senior or SLT in this case, ADI. So they fit into our strategy really well. They've got the expertise around low voltage products.
Yes.
Because of the security side of the business, and we're selling low voltage products.
Right.
We're going into the same vertical markets in the same network as what all of ADI salespeople are, and the same customers.
So what can ADI partners expect in terms of the support, resources, and engagement as this partnership grows?
We got lots of resources, so we can demonstrate. We can go out physically with product and demonstrate the products. We've got evaluation units in a network pool that they can use. We've got a team that can support. We've got a channel program that we can put together, and there's a reward system through that as well. One of the most important items is margin, because we've got a narrow product set. We've got a narrow channel. We retain margin for our distribution partners and integrators as well.
So one for you both maybe to have a go on here. Personal opinion here, but what excites you each most about what's coming next in this category?
AI is going to make a significant difference to our industry in all sorts of ways. And we've mentioned a few of those. But actually, I'm quite excited about the projector market, and because people say it's legacy technology, and we've mentioned that before, but it's not just legacy technology. The actual install base of projection is growing. It's a growing market, and we know that. I've mentioned a few numbers earlier. So I'm quite excited where that takes us. AI will add some extra features to that, which we'll see over time.
Any extra features you can think of?
Well, again, it goes back to what we said about the emotive stuff. It will go down to quality, video quality of that product as well.
Yeah.
We know that everything is about 4K right now. 8K looks like it's disappearing very quickly. We don't see that being a play just yet.
Okay.
But if you look at, I'll give you one example, right? So digital arts market. So we've seen the digital arts market adopt panel in the past, but now they're moving to more towards projector because that versatility message. So they can, you go to an art gallery, you'll see lovely paintings, but now you can go to digital art galleries where they're actually creating content onto walls that people can go and see in a gallery.
Wow.
It's a big explosion right now. That's just one sector. If you look at the hospitality sector, if you look at the entertainment market, so looking at theme parks, the use of projection in there as well, it's changing.
It's almost down to its versatility of what other technologies you combine it with, because it's
and other technologies can't provide that just yet. We know that the cost of LEDs coming down as an example, and do you know what? All these technologies play their part in the market, but projection is still there.
Right. Same for you, John? Or
I think so. I think it's the sort of the converging markets and how that's going to affect the technology that comes out. I think that's really important. And I think when IT and AV sort of start working together, only good things can come out of that. So excited to see what that brings.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of today's episode of Digitise This. A huge thank you to my guests Ian Neale and John Gallagher for sharing their insights into the smart meeting devices market and how PFUE and ADI are working together to bring new opportunities to reseller partners across EMEA. We've heard how this category is evolving from sustainable projection to AI-driven meeting equity to monitors designed for modern shared workplaces. If you're a reseller, integrator or distributor looking to stand out in the AV space, this is a market full of momentum, and PFUE is committed to supporting partners every step of the way. Don't forget to subscribe to Digitise This on Spotify, Apple Podcasts or YouTube, and join us next time as we continue exploring the technologies and partnerships powering digital transformation. I'm Steve Chad. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.